The late afternoon sky was bruised purple and gold, the kind of light that makes dust look like floating embers. The wind stirred the cracked wooden signs outside Earl's Café, scraping softly against stale silence. Inside, the air smelled of stale coffee, old linoleum, and nervous tension. The room felt heavy, like every word spoken earlier in the day had settled into the floorboards. You sit at a scarred booth by the window. Outside, the dusk gathered slowly. Through the glass, you see a few neighbors, faces drawn tight, shadows growing long. Murmurs ripple across the weather-worn tables. Some shake their heads. Others lean in, hushed, fighting disbelief. At the center of the hush stands Earl, grizzled, arms crossed, knuckles whitish under flickering neon. His eyes are hard. "I heard it," he mutters. "Straight from the internet. They say Blake Shelton has no talent." A ripple of gasps. A teenage girl slams her phone down. Lily, pale, anxious, not sure whether she's more afraid of her friends or of what's coming. And in that moment, that heavy breath before chaos, you realize, this town is about to explode. Willow Creek is small. So small you can walk end to end in 10 minutes. The kind of place where everybody knows your name, and your history, and your mistakes. But even here, in the quiet hum of old pickup trucks and porch swings, a rumor can tear through like wildfire. It started with nothing. A careless comment from Earl, passed on by a bored teenager. Then Lily posted it as a joke online. "Blake Shelton has no talent, Earl." She probably didn't expect half the town to see it. Didn't expect it to land in the hands of other bored teens, of parents gossiping at the feed store, of drunk men at Kelly's bar while country music played on an old jukebox. But it did. By midday, whispers floated on porches. Cut-through glances in the grocery store. A handful of furious phone calls. By evening, the local radio station, a crackly, half-broken AM dial, ran a segment titled, "Did Blake Shelton Flop? Call in and tell us what you think." In 2 hours, the phone lines were on fire. Meanwhile, outside Earl's Café, the morning chill turned to dry heat. Dust lifted off the road with every passing truck, swirling in lazy circles. The town's heartbeat thudded low, like the distant hum of cicadas. Inside the café, voices rose. "You hear that? A joke." "That's his whole career we're laughing at," barked Mrs. Turner, her gray hair tumbling forward, hands clutching the edge of the Formica table. Her knuckles were white. She had never been one for country music, but she knew respect when she heard it. "Blake Shelton? No talent," growled Earl, leaning forward. His shadow flickered in the neon, sharp and cold. "He's sold out stadiums, I tell you. He sang that song. What was it? Austin. Went to #1. Real country. Real heart." A hush fell, so thick it pressed against your eardrums. Outside, the sun sank behind gnarled oaks. Shadows lengthened. The golden hour turned smoky under dust. Then, through the door, came a sound. Soft at first. A creak of hinges. A breath of air that didn't belong. And then, the soft, unmistakable thump of a guitar case hitting the floor by the counter. Heads turned. Bodies froze. In walked a tall man. Jeans worn, boots dusty, hat pulled low. A weathered denim shirt open over a plain tee. Leather guitar strap casually slung over his shoulder. The kind of look that belonged on a porch, or a roadside stage, not in a cafe full of indignation. His cowboy grin was easy, confident. "Mind if I play a song?" he asked. His voice, low, calm, measured. They stared. The radio cut out. The jukebox clunked silent. The wind outside pressed against the windows. Everything held its breath. Then a slow nod. From Earl. From Mrs. Turner. From Lily, pale and wide-eyed. The tall man settled onto a stool near the window. The sunlight, fading, brushed his features, half in light, half in shadow. Dust motes drifted in the beam like silent applause. He opened the guitar case, lifted the instrument carefully, as if cradling an old friend. Fingers found strings. A hush. Then, the first chord. You felt it in your chest, like a soft punch. Then the second. Then the voice. Smooth. Rich. Warm, with gravel at the edges. Like raw cotton and whiskey. Like heartbreak and hope. He sang. A simple melody. A song that didn't ask for permission. Didn't demand applause. It just flowed. By the time he finished the first verse, time felt suspended. Earl dropped the coffee mug. It shattered, slow motion, on cracked linoleum. 3 people cried. Mrs. Turner's knees buckled. She gripped the table, pale as chalk. Lily hid her face behind trembling hands. The tall man smiled. Softly. Then he spoke, his voice low, steady, quiet but carrying. Name's Blake. Blake Shelton. For a moment, just a moment, silence pushed back the dust. Absorbed the hurt. Absorbed the rumors. Then the room exhaled. Some weeks later, the front page of the Willow Creek Gazette read, Earl has no ears? Cafe rumor debunked by live performance. Beneath it, a blurry photo of Blake, guitar in hand, standing under the cafe's yellow neon sign. Dust swirling at his boots, townsfolk gathered around. That one performance changed everything. Because Blake Shelton is not just a name on a poster. Not just a voice on the radio. He's a story, from a boy in Ada, Oklahoma who left home at 17 and moved to Nashville to chase a dream. He's the guy who, in 2001, released a debut single called Austin, a ballad that climbed to #1 on the country chart and made him a rising star. He's the longest-serving coach in the history of The Voice, guiding contestants to victory more times than any other. And then there's Gwen Stefani, the pop icon from Fullerton, California, who rose to fame as the lead singer of No Doubt, whose solo career spawned mega-hits, and whose voice became the soundtrack of millions. Gwen had been more comfortable on polished pop stages than dusty cafe floors. She had grown used to flashing lights, sold-out arenas, and the roar of adoration. But when she heard the rumor, the one tearing through Willow Creek and threatening everything Blake stood for, something inside her snapped. That afternoon, she flew in on a private plane. Her red hair catching the sun, big city heels against dusty wood. Walked through the cafe door, scanned the faces, saw the hurt, the confusion, the anger, and the longing. She didn't say much at first. She just stood beside Blake when he played. The first chord rang out under the neon sign. Her eyes glistened not with fame, but with belief. When she opened her mouth to sing harmony, her voice, soft, soulful, real, filled the space. Old arguments dissolved. Whispered doubts disappeared. Neighbors who had sworn Blake was washed up, or just another country hack, felt something shift. Maybe it was the truth in the strings. Maybe it was the honesty in Gwen's voice. Whatever it was, the rumor lost its power then. After that night, Willow Creek remembered. Not the rumor, but the music. The dust. The guitar case. The genuine ache in the chords. Earl closed the cafe early that week. A handwritten sign said, "Gone to see Blake in Nashville. Back Monday." People talked differently now. Not gossiping. Not speculation. Just gratitude. Respect. Lily posted on social media too. This time, a photo of the cafe sign, tagged, #Willow Creek remembers #Real Music Lives On. Years later, when you drive through Willow Creek, you see something else on that dusty road. A small mural on the side of what used to be Kelly's bar. A silhouette of a man playing guitar under neon light. Below, in simple block letters, where music defeated doubt. Some nights, locals say, if you pull over and listen, really listen, you can hear a faint guitar riff on the wind. The hum of a melody. A ghost of a song sung once under fading light. And if you close your eyes, just for a moment, you can almost imagine he's still there, singing. His name? Blake Shelton. Not just a singer. Not just a coach. A reminder. A story. A spark that caused a whole town to believe again. And for Willow Creek, and maybe for you, that's enough.